Let's welcome our chief guest who has arrived. Hearty welcome to all the distinguished guests, dignitaries, officials, chairpersons, resource persons, principals, SCNCs, teachers, and staff. On behalf of Godda, Pakur, Sahibganj, Sahodaya, under the aegis of Confederation of Jharkhand Sahodayas, a complex of we are honored to have with us our Honorable Chief Guest, His Excellency Mr. Zishan Kumar, Deputy Commissioner Godda, to grace this auspicious occasion. As we know, light and brightness has always been equated with positivity, and motivation is seen. Chairman of Confederation of Jharkhand Sahodayas, Chairpersons Mr. Pradipta Mukherjee, Dumka Jamtara Sahodaya, Mr. Pranesh Solomon, Godda Pakur Sahibganj, Mr. D. Mohanty, Principal and Secretary of the Confederation of Jharkhand Sahodayas. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the honors. There's a little clapping as we light the lamp and embark on today's proceedings. We also welcome our master trainers, Mr. Sujit Sen, Principal of Jharkhand Public School, Madam Joy Godda, to please come up on the stage for the lamp lighting. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Thank you for your gracious presence in our midst to enhance our joy. Now I humbly invite Mr. D. Mohanty, sir, Principal of Delhi Public School and Secretary of Confederation of Jharkhand Sahodayas, to present the bouquet to Mr. Zuri Bose, who is the Let's give a big hand of applause. Thank you. Now I would like to request Dr. Shiv Narayan Singh. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to call on stage Mrs. Anupama Kumari Saha, Principal of Elite Public School, Pakur, to please come up on the stage to present the bouquet to our chairman from Dumka Jamtara, Mr. Pradipta Mukherjee, and he is also the chairman for the Confederation of Jharkhand Sahodayas. Let's give a big hand. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to call, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to call also the principal of the Jharkhand Public School and the master trainer for today's session. I would like to also call on stage Mr. Samson Patrick, who is the STNC, the master trainer for today's session. Thank you all. Let's give a big round of applause to all our guests, dignitaries on stage, and to all our principals who have come from 14 different schools of Godda, Pakur and Sahibganj districts.
And I welcome principals, SCNCs, and all teachers. This is today we intend to cover the districts of Godda, Pakur and Sahibganj, and next Saturday, the 27th, we aim to conclude Dumka and Jamtara. CBSE training, sir, has been made imperative.
Normal teacher tells to students like 5 plus 2 is 7. He told it to students, his job is over. Normal teacher tells. Good teacher explains. Like good teacher will explain how 5 plus 2, 5, 6, 7, so we added. So it becomes 10, 7. So normal teacher just tells. Good teacher explains. Superior quality teacher demonstrates. He will demonstrate it to you how it is 5 plus 2 is 7, not 8. He will demonstrate it by his actions. And the great teachers are those teachers who inspire. 7, the 5 who, wow, why, when, where. The 5 questions which comes into minds of the students. It's the duty, it's the education of educators to inculcate these thinkings in the minds of students, to always question. It's part of training of educators, trainers, teachers. Let the student ask the most serious question on this earth, on the planet Earth. Then only in Godda, Sahibganj, Pakur, under the guidance of the principals and chairman of the Sahodaya Complex, Mr. Zubin Bose, Mr. T.K. Sinha, and Mr. Solomon. I would just say a little bit more on composite education. I was not aware of this topic of the education. When I saw and I looked back, I saw that the training topic is the strategies of effective composite education. So what is this effective and what is composite? The two keywords there. And what is the strategy for that? I would start that effective. Effective means you are changing each their parents, you can counsel their parents, your communicative learning. Learning should always be communicative. It's not like you write on the board and then people will learn, the student will learn and then your job is over. You should communicate knowledge. You should just don't write knowledge, you should communicate knowledge. Like Bloom's taxonomy, it's a very favorite subject when we go in educational studies in sociology, in psychology, in child psychology. Then Bloom's taxonomy is there. It's depending upon there are many, I am not remembering all. Psychomotor, your perception, learning by perception, learning by seeing, learning by touching. And this highest level, these three will comprise it will make it of your time. This is the mandatory 5-hour online class. I think, I'm not very sure about what is new CBSE.
For today's seminar, for today's session, thank you sir for sparing your precious time out of your schedule to be here in our midst, to enlighten us, to grace the occasion. Thank you for addressing a wonderful day today, a loving time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now I would like to take this time to welcome Mr. Nilesh Kumar and Principal of Vidyalaya. Thank you very much. Now I would like to extend a warm welcome to Mr. Shiv Shankar who will start from the ground. We welcome you on behalf of the family. All of you. Now I would like to extend a welcome to
just wait a minute. Thank you. Any public school, Pakur? Host school?
Yes.
Okay, big hand for host school. Bethel school, Godda. Yes, yours. Hearing. Oh, fantastic. Yours, ma'am? Hearing. St. Thomas. Okay, it's okay. Peter, hearing Godda.
We all stand up from D.A.V. Public School Godda.
Okay, so that group and all Majority is D.A.V, no? So today it will be your day. Majority.
DPS Pakur.
DPS Pakur. No, sir, it's already introduced. You also DPS Pakur. Thank you. And Thank you so much. Training program as well as the principals training program. I think some of the principals, some of you may have also taken training from me when we were having a pedagogical leadership program. Okay, at that time. And I am continuously giving training from COE Patna. I think many of you have taken my training. Again on 30th, again I will have this month 31st. And a very common training of mine, which is very popular over there, is effective communication skills. That is there, and other training programs are there. And last year also, I did a lot of online training programs. Madam was one of my, we used to give the messages and all through this chat box and all. So those small messages turned out to be very vital for me to learn something. So without further delay, we will start. But before that, one more thing I'd like to tell you, that it is, in the beginning I said, it's a learning process. No one is here to test each other's knowledge, ideas or whatever. We are not going to do for that. We will just learn. It will not be those who cannot read or write. I repeat once again, the illiterate of 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write, but will be those who, and it holds tremendous significance for people like us who are deeply in the learning process. Every day things are changing and we have to move with the change. Otherwise, there's a saying in English, change with the change or else the change will change. Yes, we have learned about Bloom's taxonomy when we were doing our PhD, but then what happens, you know? We have done the PhD, we have finished off the course, and after that we forget about it. But if you really put a little bit of your heart and soul, and if you just reflect your yesterday's classroom, if you reflect your yesterday's classroom, you will find you were very much with Bloom's taxonomy. You were very much with Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy. Just one phone call. हम लोग तो समटाइम आई विल टॉक इन हिंदी ऑल्सो। वो प्रिंसिपल ऐसे तो हम लोग प्रिंसिपल लोग थोड़ा सा आप लोग बोलते हैं थोड़ा सा खड़ूस होता है। पास नहीं हुआ आप कुछ नहीं। उसके बाद सब कब क्या होगा प्रिंसिपल ऑफिस के सामने जाके यस सर आई ट्राई दिस इट इज माय बेस्ट सर यू आर डूइंग दिस और नॉट यस आई माइसेल्फ डिड इट व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड माय करियर. Okay, as a teacher some 20 years ago, no, I tried to make the paper very difficult. And I said, बच्चा तो हिल नहीं पाया. But that was the biggest mistake I did in my life. And my principal told me you are nothing. No, I did for nothing. Your students did not pass. And it's the irony. So students have to pass. So the assessment, how we will apply those to make assessment as good as possible. If a child is scoring say out of 70, suppose I am talking about the plus 2 part, okay? Out of 70, if the child is scoring, we make it. Why? Because if a child is able to score 90 and the pass mark is 23, and because of 4 marks a child will lose a year, we do not know, because the child knows something. That is what CBSE education is all about. And we will find that today also. It is important. It is so. There are schools like ours, CBSE affiliated schools, where teachers are slogging morning till night to make sure that the students get the best. And there are schools also, mushrooming. ठीक है सर पढ़ा देते हैं. So he was an English teacher and he taught 2 topics, 2 paragraphs to the children. One was me and myself, and another was friend and friendship. Okay, friend and friendship, and another one was me and myself. 2 topics, and he said, any one of them will come for your examination. So you people, and he just gave them the paragraphs, and the children mocked them like anything, and they were ready for the examination. And in these schools, the teachers are like, ayaram gayaram. होता है ना? 10 रुपया कहीं ज़्यादा दे दिया, टीचर चला जाएगा. It's an irony. It's a very sad story. It's a sarcastic. So what they did it in this way. There are mothers and fathers in this world. I have many fathers, but Ram Kumar is my best father. And at the conclusion was, a father in need is a father in defeat. This is a big slap on our face. This is the condition of education also, because we are not allowing children to think. The schools are not allowing children to think. But CBSE schools, the affiliated schools, we are compelling the children to think. Yes, sir ji. हम लोग करते कि नहीं? हर बच्चे को हम लोग सोचने के लिए मजबूर करते हैं. So one of the important aspects is thinking. And if the thinking is there in the positive way, automatically learning will go on. And when learning goes on, understanding will come on. They are all directly proportional to each other. Hope I am not boring. Bore to nahi kar rahe na? Sir, next one. The brain, which we call in a in a educative language, practical is there everywhere. In our time, when I was a student, when I gave my class 10 board examination somewhere in 1991, at that time, that much of practicals were not there with English and Bengali and social sciences and all. But nowadays, our new group of children, they are getting the advantage of this. That's why their understanding is much more. And the effective domain, this is a very high level thinking. When you apply the heart, when you apply your heart to it, when you do something new out of the learning, when your thinking completely becomes different. Say for example, when you do something new from the existing one. Like chemistry teachers are here, chemistry teachers, they know this thing much better. Anybody chemistry teacher? Sir is a chemistry teacher. Sir, you are a chemistry teacher, very good. Chemistry teachers know this thing, you are also chemistry. Okay sir, very good sir. Chemistry teachers know this very well. Sir, all of you, I hope you will. Niels Bohr came and gave us a complete theory of the atomic structure, which brought a revolution in the study of chemistry. Then everything changed. Why Rutherford was so much engulfed in me? A tree is just a normal tree. For you and me, a tree is normal tree. A tree with a trunk, leaf, some fruits are there. When you get the time, you pick up the fruits. But to the poet, it's not just a normal tree. The poet will describe it in a different way. Why? Because the poet is putting his heart to it. And everybody is not a poet. Where is Vibhudatta Mohanty sir is here. Everybody is not Vibhudatta Mohanty sir as a poet. Where is sir? Sir is not here. So the three areas, please remember, which is actually the brain, we call it as the brain, the hands-on experience, okay, your practical knowledge is coming, and finally the heart. This is called Bloom's taxonomy, okay. Then we have the psychomotor domain, the skills, how to perform the experiment, how to of your hands. That is known as the psychomotor skill. This taxonomy is actually written by Anita Harrow. I think many of you have heard about Anita Harrow. Those who are very much deeply involved with education process and all, you must have heard about Anita Harrow. He was also an associate of Benjamin Bloom when Bloom was making the taxonomy. So these three people also wrote these things, but you know, the educationists around the world, they just combine all the three and they make it as Bloom's taxonomy because Bloom initiated the process. Honors should always go to the person who initiates the process. Okay, so three areas, again, the cognitive domain, knowledge, how we take that learning, how we can bring out something new from it. And I am 100% confident to give something new to your students. Am I correct or not? Yes sir, sir looks very serious. Yes sir, young teacher. How many years of experience you have sir? 6 years, brilliant. Okay, do we put it on? To a certain extent, we all are doing. Otherwise, we would not have succeeded in our classrooms. You know, within 7 days, चलिए सर हो गया खत्म, आपसे नहीं होने वाला. Believe me, respected teachers, I personally believe, this is my belief, and I practice this also. Each and every one of you is a unique teacher. No matter whoever says what. At the end of the day, when general public will be in crisis, they will only come to the teachers. They will not go to any politician, any neta, any baba, any this or any that. They will come to the teacher. This is the greatness of ours. And making the point, you believe it and you will do it. It is happening. Yes or no? Yes. शिक्षक से बड़ा है ही नहीं कोई दुनिया में. Our heart to it. If our heart was not there, we would not have survived for so many years. Okay, so we'll move to the next one. And just a minute, sir, 1 minute. Education is often referred to these three categories, three parts. You all know it, we have already studied, but again, just to rekindle that. Sir, next one, at least some historical background should be known. Then only you will get a solid platform to study the further things. Okay. So what is present that in 1956, Benjamin further deeper thinking to it, and this is how it goes on. So, continues to be one of the most universally applied models till date. Till date, it is one of the most universally applied models. Whether it is in India or in Japan or wherever, or in Indonesia or in the Middle East, each and every teacher, knowingly or unknowingly, a way to organize thinking skills into 6 levels, from the most basic to the higher order levels of thinking. Qualitatively thinking, we discussed qualitatively thinking. So 6 levels we have, from the most basic, the normal thinking, and goes up and so on. Okay, revised taxonomy. Then the same taxonomy was revised in 2001 by Lorin Anderson. Lorin Anderson happens to be a student of Benjamin Bloom, and as it is said that change is the way of life, you have to, madam, feeling hot? Little bit hot. So, see if some fans, yeah, it is a bit, when so many people are there, it's something like this. Can it revolve, sir? Can it revolve so that everybody can get a little bit of air? We should not be biased, we should be unbiased to everybody. Everybody must get that air. Okay, thank you. Long ago, in 2001, I started my career in 2000. As a teacher, and in 2001 it was that many of you started in 2000 as a career, many of you started later also. So it was revised. 1956 it was made. For so many years it went on. And during this period, research was going on to make it from good to better and from better to best. Best is yet to come, but the better form is already there. So Lorin Anderson brought about change in it. What is that change? That is what we will see. Okay, revise. Follow all these things. There must be some reasons. There must be some reasons. So, why use Bloom's taxonomy? There have been 30 years of experience. We have another very senior teacher. Sir, how many years experience teachers over here? So, 30 years of experience. Isn't it true that yesterday also when you went inside the classroom, you planned the curriculum and then only you went into the classroom? Without planning, I can't. You cannot. Although the subject is there in your fingertips, you have been teaching it. Yes, we need to plan it every day. Believe me, I, you, everyone is planning it. We have to make them in line with the assessment that we have to give the students. That is another thing. Objectives, assessments, techniques and standards, whatever you will teach, to facilitate permanent acquisition of learning. And that is what Bloom's taxonomy will do. To facilitate permanent acquisition of learning. Whatever the students will learn from us, that will remain in their head forever, in their brain. If you recollect your school days, you will find some of your own teachers who taught you in such a way that all those things you still remember. One small example I will give you. I studied in a convent school in Asansol called St. Vincent's High and Technical School. The school is run by the Irish Christian brothers. Okay, brothers, they used to come from Ireland. And one particular teacher, one particular brother, his name was Brother Huge. He used to teach us English and mathematics. And this gentleman had a very unusual way of teaching. He our classes an hour earlier than the rest of the school. The school used to start at 8 a.m. But we, the students of class 10, have to reach school by 7 a.m. 1 hour he used to help us, he used to take handwriting classes. Handwriting. That is a very important part of that school's education system. So 1 hour handwriting. And after that the normal classes used to start. One day, and he used to cane us like anything. During those days, we used to get very angry, but later we understood that those canings were very much important. If those canings were not there, maybe I would not have been able to stand in front of you and talk. So one day he told us, in that Irish accent, tomorrow you people will not come to school at 7, you will come at 8. Thank God, 1 hour extra sleep. Great feeling. We came to school at 8. In the assembly we were standing, but brother was nowhere to be seen. No, he's the class teacher, he's supposed to be seen also. He's nowhere. We got a much more relief. That means today he is absent. Thank God, no beating, no using of those unparliamentary languages on us. One day we have got a little bit of relief. This was the thing. And then as usual we were entering the classroom. As the first boy was about to enter the class, he just pipped like this and he came back like this. He said, what happened? Look, somebody is sitting inside. And when we all pipped, we found a very, a mad-looking man with beards and dark skin and wearing rag dress was sitting inside the classroom. We got scared. How come it happened in St. Vincent, supposed to be one of the most safest school of the region? So much security, so much the main gate and the building is almost 2 kilometers away. How can a lunatic like this man come and sit in the classroom? Obviously, it comes into the mind. But then he was calling in. Slowly we went inside. That day, it was Brother Hugh who has disguised himself as the mariner. What comes into the teacher's mind? What do I want my students to learn? How can I express my goals to them and make these goals clear to my students, colleagues and myself? This is the common thinking of all teachers across the world. Am I teaching properly? So in 1956, Benjamin Bloom wrote the knowledge. Then what happens? The next step of learning becomes the comprehension. The knowledge that is put, whether they are able to understand it or understand. Okay, and after that, application. Very simple. If the students are able to get the idea, they will try to apply it and they will try to test whether it is true or not. And after that, analysis. Okay, they will apply it, then they will break it into small parts. That is how teaching goes on. Trying to join one another. And then synthesis. Do that to find out whether it is really true or not. Do the experiment in that way. And then application, analysis, synthesis and evaluation. Loren Anderson, he said, no, there is a big difference over there. So far, whatever Mr. Bloom has said is okay, but when the practical application of Bloom's taxonomy was there in the schools, colleges, universities, it was found that it doesn't exactly work in this way. It should be more action-oriented. So he said that instead of calling it as knowledge, let us call it as remember. Remember the previously learned thing. There's a difference between knowledge and remember. But that doesn't qualify me to have enough knowledge about Rabindranath Tagore. I remember Rabindranath Tagore, a poet, but do I have complete knowledge? When we talk about, this is something where Loren Anderson had an argument, that children in the basic stage only remember the things that we teach them. It is not possible to gather knowledge instantly at that what not. But remembering, I remember, sir. I don't have full knowledge about sir. In classrooms, if you look at it in that way, senior teachers will be able to help us know. We go in this way. We go with remembering, making them remember, repeating, and then finally it goes to the next higher level. So Loren Anderson was very much clear about he said initial stage is remembering. Remembering from the previously learned day, remembering today, remembering tomorrow, until and unless we put them or compel the students to think into the deeper understand. Once you remember, then you start next higher level when the teacher will teach, it will be making the students understand the facts. Understand. Like sir said, 2 plus 2 becomes 4. Why it is 4? Why not it is 3?
2 multiplied by 8 is equal to 16. And 8 multiplied by 2 is also equal to 16. Why it is like this? You know, that understanding of the fact comes over here. Followed by apply. Is it really? Previously, Bloom said application. It said, no, let us go for apply. Let us break it down. Make things more simple, join them, break them, join them. Okay. And after that, analyze. After that, analyze. See whether it is true or not. And then evaluate. Bloom, at the end, Bloom said evaluate, but Lauren Anderson said evaluation will be done first. Suppose if you are coming out with new ideas, after teaching, if the students want to get new ideas, after learning, after remembering, after understanding, they must find out what are the do's and do nots of that particular topic that they have studied. Then only they will go to create something new. Okay. Then only we will be able to create something new. Because creating something new before evaluating is not possible. Because when you are doing something new, you want to place it in front of the world, it should be completely errorless. That's what the general thinking is. It may not be always possible in that way, but that is the general thinking. So this is the revised Bloom's taxonomy done by Lauren Anderson. You will get more details in the papers that we have given. And this is the one that we are actually applying in our day-to-day life. If you just put on your thinking caps a little bit and recollect yesterday's class, you will understand you are not through all these things. Yes or no? Thinking in that way, we make children first, remember? Then we make them understand. Comprehension and understanding, again, both the words look very similar, but yet there is a lot of difference. Understanding is getting a knowledge. Now the knowledge comes. Okay. And retaining it. Then application, analyze, see what is there. And finally, after evaluation, we are able to create. Benjamin Bloom said, first, at the end evaluation cannot take place. Because when I am putting in something in front of the world, I have to do it in this way. That has to be errorless. That's all. So next one, please.
Various types of verbs which we apply when we teach our children. About knowledge or remembering. Sir, make it like that. I will explain, sir. That's it. Remembering means remember.
So the better version is the action verbs define, categorize, calculate, critique, find the mistakes if there are at all.
Bloom's lower levels, knowledge and remembering, recalling previously learned information
from assigned material. See, when the student, when we are teaching, when we are just making them remember the things, they don't apply their brain too much to give the answers. They just mark the answers given. Does it happen in that way or not? Yes, it happens in that way. So they answers are memorized, paraphrased from assigned material. We give some material, from there they may make a gist of it, or they simply mark the answer, we give them answers, they mark it. This is what the first stage of education, that is remembering. Okay, this is a lower level of learning, lower level. So next one. Ability to understand, comprehend this one. In the course material. See, once the students understand, once the student can comprehend what, according to old Bloom's text or the new one, once the students are able to understand, they will be able to write the answers in their own language. This is what we generally look for in or not. Do we ever say that no, whatever is there in the book, we have to write it? Yes, whatever is there in the book, we have to. But if you can write the same thing in your own words and languages, it will be marked with much more proficiency. Isn't it? That's what we look for. So, when students will understand, they will apply their own language, own words, the same thing, and teach us how to give more marks. You all are doing it. Okay. It's still the lower level. This is generally practice in the classroom. Explain, summarize, distinguish. They will have the quality to do all this. Next one, sir. The principle in a new situation to solve the problem. Now this is high order thinking. Simpler forms and aligning them and joining them. These are all higher level of thinking. Okay. We don't generally practice these things in classroom. To be very honest with you, if we are doing it, it's brilliant. Accepted to the value of the material. Whatever the students justify, is it really what exactly is needed? This makes high order thinking. That's what Bloom's taxonomy talks about. So judge, critique, justify, discriminate. Sometimes we ask, especially in English literature and in Bengali, Hindi literature or in social sciences, we sometimes give this question of like, why you think the poet has described this, the road not taken in this particular way. Give your critical way. Those English teachers will know this very well. So this is where high order thinking comes. Sir, the next one, please.
The same thing again repeated. Okay, there are different types of verbs that we use in the classrooms to do the things. Okay, quickly, sir. There's nothing much to explain over here. So the next one. Understand and remember and apply. These are the three parts that this is the one that we are actually doing in the classrooms. Each and every teacher. Analyze, evaluate, and all that's not rarely done, but we try to do something. So next one. The same thing, remembering, understanding, and finally, he who learns but does not think is lost. So thinking. More you think, the more you understand. The more you understand, better result you will do. So both the teacher and the student have to think. So that's all. Bloom's taxonomy revised. Hope I have been able to comprehend, make you understand. Madam, is it okay? Sorry, Jolly ma'am. My co-resource person, Jolly ma'am, is waiting. Ma'am is very sorry. And she will be doing from there. So she will be discussing something else. I will be sitting over there as an audience.
One morning, principal in the school do not like me, does not like me, and thirdly, the students in the school do not like me. Mother says, that is not a reason at all. Okay, Mama, you give me 2 reasons why I should go to school. Mother says, firstly, you are 35 2 3 minutes, please do so. We will not have the classroom like this, good, beautiful, attentive students. But we have to manage and we have to give our best. So how we can do that? From our point of view, how much we can help the students to achieve with my idea, my guidance, your ideas, we will try to make this session. It is not only what is in the book. The meaning of this word is this, that word is that. We have to go beyond. For that reason, we have to prepare, be it the lowest class or the highest in the school. For example, I will give you like the word I come along while teaching. Nepotism. We are very much familiar of this word nepotism, and we all know the meaning. What is the meaning of nepotism, teachers? Anyone can answer? Yes, please. Answer from the teacher. Please, can you say from where the word nepotism has originated? From Greece, from Rome, to be. It was used by the Pope, the bishops, for days to promote their nephews. So from the word nephew, the word nepotism has come. So like this, we have to know extra when we go to the class. So the students, when they ask, we can give the answer. Because the children always look up on us. They look up at us as teachers. How much we know. In the junior classes, you will see they are the role models. The way the teacher dresses, the way the teacher speaks, they follow that. So that's why we have this important work of having the full knowledge. Otherwise, we will not be doing justice to the service. That is teaching. Education is not the global warming not there. But if you pinpoint, Jimmy, be quiet, sit down. Rohit, what is the matter? Take out your book. If you pinpoint a student, I think it will be helpful. Some other ways of class management I would like to ask from my fellow teachers. Anybody? Microphone was there. Somebody would volunteer with a microphone so that you guys will do it.
The teachers are not expected to shout with the students. Just keep quiet and give us turn leave 2 minutes. Then the classroom will be pending.
Very
Attention. First, I would like to noise something very peculiar. As soon as I sound, they think from where the sound is coming and all become silent. After that, I tell them, you do a noise which I do not understand or I am not able to understand. So now, 4 or 5 students will make that one, and now the class is pleased and the whole class is ready to listen to me.
excellent technique, unique indeed. Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Just certain a magical word, just give me 5. And I'm very happy with this word. Each and every student raise their hand 5. Then I maybe say give me 2 or give me 0. I'm happy with this.
Here the matter is, whenever the teachers enters into the class and the student starts sorting, it means they are not interested. First, we have to create the attention towards by telling their names, by appreciating him, and later the classes will start. Then they will think that the teachers are here for teaching and we are not interested in. So that it's better to attract him towards, later would be very effective and no one is ready to sort for. Thank you.
Thank you.
You spoke brilliantly. The techniques are definitely very much in use. We all appreciate and definitely we all will follow. Before Dan starts, I'll just talk in a different. I am not that much of a serious type of a teacher. Never I was a very serious teacher. Till now also I'm not a very serious principal. Way to make the children keep quiet in the classroom is your very own personality. Your very own personality will make the children. In my school, when I was a teacher, I used to mingle with the students, irrespective of whatever they are. And no, they will develop some sort of a love and respect for you. And another thing we have to take it is, don't take it in a different way, because in a very informal way I'm telling you. Lady teachers always get the benefit of making the children quiet, because their very presence is there. They are very present. All children have a crush for their lady teachers. Is it true or not? Yes, even I also had. When I was in school, my Bengali teacher was Dipti Chatterjee madam. She is very much alive, very much beautiful. And I also had a crush on her. And I always used to feel that Miss must hit me. And I will sit in front of Miss. Miss must check my notebooks. I must make mistakes. She will hit me. She will touch me. I must be in front of her. And that's how I developed the respect. It happens. It's child psychology. Okay.
Thank you, sir. English serials and all we watch. After 5 minutes, 7 minutes, there is one break. Again, the next part is coming. So, like that, if you continue teaching at a stretch of 40 or 35 minutes, whatever the duration of your class is, students will not listen to you. Better you stop, go back, ask questions, do some activities. Sometimes what happens, you can understand that they are not attentive, they are not alert. Sometimes you see they are very restless. This happens especially it for 5 times, make the children do it. Believe me, I have done it in my class, in class 12, and I have got this result. They all became refreshed. You can try this out in your classes. Please, please. Now, effective teacher, we all are here effective teachers. So, designs lesson for students mastery. Little bit quantity I have said. Mastery of the students. The lesson, the way it will be planned. I will have full knowledge of my subject. And accordingly, we will plan our syllabus and time. Because time management, if a teacher will understand, then only we can make the children understand the importance of time. This also has been observed. Students who attend school regularly read more and who do more homework do better in school. This is a fact. Even if for 35 minutes, 40 minutes the student is not listening in the class, not paying attention, but little bit whatever has gone into his head, that is quite important. Then the student who is sitting at home. Regular homework is needed. All of you must maintain the logbooks where we give the classwork, the homework, maths, this exercise this to this, English, this 5 question answers have been dictated, that has to be learned, and so on. Regular homework is very 80% and above. So marks are really important for students, and we have to make this understood to them. Few years back, one movie had come out, very famous Hindi movie, 3 Idiots. I feel, that is my personal belief, that that movie had totally negative impact. Students were given that a certain deadline has to be followed, they have to submit the projects. In our schools also we do so. Is it wrong? Is it wrong that the students on this August 31st, all your projects must be submitted, otherwise it will not be accepted? Are we wrong in doing so? Then how we will make the students understand that in the future when they will be working in corporate world, work outside, they will have this deadline, target to achieve. In that movie it was said, don't run after marks, marks will run after you. Does it happen in real life? If any student has got 40%, 35%, 50% in result, will he or she get admission in a good college? 90%, 95% is what is seen. So marks, achievement are very important for all. And for this, teachers play a very vital role. Students spend in the school 6 hours, 7 hours, maybe 1 period in a day you are taking in that class. But that is very important. The way you manage, the way you make the students understand. So achievement is one of the most important things. Only the person who does the work learns. So make the students work. They will not sit there blindly. All the hard work is done by the teachers. Teachers are preparing lessons, teachers are giving notes, teachers are correcting copies. What will students do? You have to take from them. They have to answer. They have to learn. They have to learn to take their responsibilities. And this, we as teachers must help them. We as teachers must guide them. Next slide, please. We all as teachers, we are sitting here. There is a saying, or people say that whether you have come into this profession by chance or by choice. So I would like to ask you, few of you to come up, those who have come to this profession by choice, to come to this side
Pakur, and yes, proudly by chance, and I'm really proud of it that I have selected this by chance, but I'm giving my best as choice.
Hello everyone, I am from Delhi Public School. I just want to work with a corporate company, but by chance I become a teacher and I like to work in
D.A.V. Public School, Jharkhand, and I am proudly announcing this, that in this profession I came by choice, not by chance. After working in several organizations, at the age of 17 years, I joined military in Indian Navy. I served there for several years, left that job. Then again as a clerk in bank, and then in Airport Authority of India. All those jobs, I don't find that job satisfaction, and I don't know why I am working and what I am doing. Finally, somehow I came a teacher in English and identify myself. And it's a really feeling to teach students. And I'm also proud to say that I am, or we all teachers, are in such a profession that creates all other professions. So we are proud for it. And again, life, I think life is a journey from destination to destination, to unknown to known. Everything or everyone at first sight or in some point of time is unknown for all of us. But we came to know gradually. And life passed from the birth still today, we couldn't identify ourselves, what we are or what we are doing. But I proudly say that we are creating nations. After leaving all those 4 prestigious jobs, I also work in corporate sector. Again, teacher, this is my 4th school as a teacher. First school was a government school in West Bengal in a deputed vacancy, teacher in PGT in English. Then Sahodaya School, Bokaro, Tenuga. I worked with Mr. D.A.V, wonderful personality as a principal. Again in D.A.V, teacher in English in RK Mission, and now I am working with proud organization of D.A.V, and I am a soldier of D.A.V Foundation. Thank you. Words are many, time is limited. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, V.C. Misra from D.A.V Public School, Jharkhand, District Godda. From my child life, I am continuously teaching. I think that was the 10th board examination, and I was teaching that time by my choice. Yes. And that time I was teaching, I have wanted 125 students. And I want to give this credit to my 3 teachers. One, Mrityunjay Kumar. Second, Abhimanyu Prasad. And third, Girdhari Lal Kaur, who made me by soul, by heart, me a teacher, who created me, who shaped me a teacher. I feel very proud by teaching in this prestigious institution. Thank you.
From Bethel School, but I've taken the teacher profession as choice because I have been watching my father as a professor, and I used to practice at the board. We were having a board at the house, and so this inspires me. We can have a chance to facilitate, okay, and I'm very proud of us.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone.
single noble feat touched by thousands of heads. So I chose this job.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I am standing here in front of two teachers. My two teachers are here and I am standing in front of them. As I am a physical education teacher and I am doing lessons to Michael Anglo-Indain School, Mobilization. I have got this by choice. The way you will know, after 12th, I have directly gone to do the course of physical education. Why? This is my first choice that in the future that I have to become a physical education teacher only. After that, when I have seen my teacher teaching the physical education subject or teaching the games and sports, I have been inspired from them. But we are from the very backside district, as you know, and Mahalma is also back. So I thought, no, if I will be educated in physical education, then only I can give the best skill and coaching to the sportsmen who are lagging behind due to why we are lagging behind from the sports. Why? Because good coaches and good teachers are not available there. So that to promote them, I have done this course and I have joined the school. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. We would have not been here.
So that is different. Of course, you are correct. But by chance or by choice, we are here. My question is that either by chance or by choice, you did not want to be a teacher. You went for other professions. Ultimately, you thought teaching profession is there. But my point is that is absolute. Now, what I wanted to convey, by chance or by choice, we are standing in the same platform. That is, past is over. Here, the future or the present is our students. The responsibility lies on us as effective teachers. We have to deliver our best. Thank you, all of you. Thank you very much. Sit down. That is supper. There is a misconception. Earlier days, if you read storybooks, old storybooks, Good Wives, Louisa May Alcott and all, dinner is the main meal of the day. You can have it in the morning as breakfast. You can have it as lunch.
I said that the heavy meal of the
Okay, ma'am, absolutely correct. That is the answer I was looking for. The heavy meal, the main meal of the day is dinner. But this conception has changed. Dinner is at night, supper is the late. This is the. They always use the word supper, not dinner, because in the story Little Whites, as I was referring, Meg, Joe and all the characters, they are preparing elaborately for the afternoon dinner as they have invited guests in their house. You can teach a lesson for a day, but if you teach curiosity, you teach for a lifetime. As I had referred about the global warming, I did not go into details of that. So that thought in the students, why it is so that human beings only are creating global warming, is it true? The mediocre teacher tells, the good ones explain, the superior one shows, and the great one inspires. And we here, we all are great teachers and we inspire. Before I end this effective teaching session, one thing I would request you all. Monday morning, when you go to school, receive your students with a broad smile. You, as the class teacher, you are standing near the door, or if you have morning duty in the ground or somewhere, please give a broad smile to them. They might be surprised. What is wrong with them today? Why is sir smiling at me today? Sir never does. Early morning, sir is very angry. Go straight in the line, enter, sit in your place. Why ma'am is smiling? Why sir is smiling? But I know this will be very much effective. Please try this out for the class on Monday. It will make a difference. It will make a difference. Your smile to the students will make a lot of difference. Sir, close this. Now I will go to the CBSE assessment and I will, Suraj sir will also be here.
whether teachers, principals, librarians, musicians of the school, each one of us has to do the training. Okay, and 50 hours of training, 25 from CBSE or any body recognized by CBSE like NCRT, SCRT, other groups are there, and 25 in-house. Now this in-house, like today we are doing, either Sahodaya can do it, or in your own school you can be the resource person. One teacher can be the resource person and take the training. Certificate will be issued by the school, signed by principal, signed by STNC, and that is a valid and legitimate certificate. Now second question is, especially sometimes the teachers get transferred. Okay, sometimes the teachers leave the school and join another school. It is very common practice, it can happen and it is happening. In that case, what will happen? Like one respected teacher asked me, sir, my digital ID is this, or through my personal ID I am taking the training. Now I am in a different school. So what shall I do? Very simple. You go to the training portal of CBSE, open the dashboard of your personal dashboard, where you have your personal details. If you were in D.A.V. Dhanbad, now you have gone to D.A.V. Pakur or D.A.V. Godda. You just simply keep everything as it is. Just simply change the name of the school. Okay, you can update it. You are always allowed to update it. You just update it, change it from D.A.V. Dhanbad to D.A.V. Pakur or Godda, and that record will go to CBSE. When you will attend the training program, when you will give the feedback form or when you will give the attendance, you give the name of that school where you are presently working, along with its affiliation number and whatever other things they ask for, and your certificate is valid. Many teachers have digital ID. Okay, digital ID will not change for the teachers. So far, whatever information I have from CBSE, digital ID remains the same. Okay, now complete newly appointed teachers who do not possess a digital ID at all, for them CBSE has given the opportunity to create digital ID. That portal is again there where you have to give the details. I mean the STNC will give the details and the digital ID will come after say 15 days or 1 month. Like in my school, some few teachers were selected. They were newly appointed and we applied for the digital ID and I have got the digital ID just 15 days ago. So these things are not very problematic things. Okay, whether it is your personal ID. I am attending training programs. I also attend every month 5 training programs from CBSE, and I am using I forgot my digital ID. To be very honest with you. So I am using my personal ID and I am getting certificates and they will get valid. Okay. As long as you have the certificate of attending the training program on that particular day, that is a legitimate certificate. Okay, so please don't worry about these things. Do the training programs, but you have to submit that certificates to your STNC, because at the end of the month when they will send the report, they must get everything detailed there. No manipulation, nothing wrong should be given. Okay, this is very important. And CBSE is giving more importance on the attending the training program. Okay, so please don't neglect the training programs. Because you never know when suddenly CBSE attacks, this is the thing with CBSE. It will be very cool, calm, it will not let you do anything. Suddenly you will get a letter. Principal will get a love letter from CBSE. Yes, in a nice envelope, it will come. They have this language, the competent authority have found that your school following teachers are not attending the training program. So you are requested to put the fine, this, and so on and so forth. Be very careful. Suddenly they do that. So it's like that. Okay, we'll move to assessment. Ma'am?
Yes. Before we move to an effective teacher and why you are an effective teacher, you have to write down 4 points about yourselves. So we have come to this CBSE board 10th and 12th, the new curriculum and the new pattern of examinations. Term 1, term 2 has gone. Now it is full 80 marks at the end of year-end examination. Sunday school. Board examinations will be conducted only once It means it has only one answer. Suppose the question has been asked, what is the capital of India? We all will be writing New Delhi. But if it is asked, name any two important places or important sites of Delhi, it can be Red Fort, Qutub Minar, India Gate, Humayun's tomb, what are they? So that is subjective, means the answer can vary. Any two you can write, but objective means it has only one answer. Yes, sir. Sir, you can.
What is the lifespan of red blood cells in the human body? 120 days. It's not 121, it's not 119. So that's the answer. Yes, that's also. It's a specific answer. Okay. So what is the function of white blood cells? The biology question. Maintenance of immunity. Specific answer. So objective line is specific answer. There are no beating around the bush. This is this. Who was the father of Aurangzeb? Shah Jahan Khan. Bas. Our question. So this is about specificity. Sometimes children turn and twist and do, so that thing has to be cut off. Okay, ma'am. Right. Just please download it and keep it with you. It's like our Bible, Gita, Quran, whatever you want to call it. It's the book. It's from CBSE. Yeah. Please download it. I will send the link today after the session to the chairperson of the Sahodaya group, and he will forward it to you. Okay. And if you have already having it, then it's very good. No need of it. This is called Handbook of Assessment and Evaluation. How to do assessment on various subjects. Everything is so beautifully it's given. Okay. A slight discussion on this competency-based question. 30% questions will be competency-based. This is the actual place where the students will be tested about their quality of learning. The word competency itself gives the meaning. Here the students will be tested exactly how much they have learned about the subject. Yes or no? Because this is where the application of the principles that we have taught, the application of the principles come. Application of the principles where you apply your ideas, your thoughts and put them down into the pen and paper to give the best answer. And here the student's quality is determined. The student has the freedom to write. Like in the previous one, objective one, there you don't have the freedom. If it is New Delhi, how good the answer can be, how comprehensive, how better, how to the point. That is why 30% of them, this will determine the student's quality. So these questions will comprise of case studies, sources, multiple choice questions and subjective questions. Again I am telling you, first nowadays we are getting case studies. A particular case study, the questions you all have seen, the particular case study is given. And what we try to find out? We try to find out how much the students can analyze, Bloom's taxonomy. How much they can deduce from there. And if you read the questions in detail, you will find that the questions that CBSE gives for these competency-based questions, they are not very difficult ones. But yes, the way it is put, it makes the students think a little bit. They should put on their thinking caps. This is very important. Okay. Source-based integrated questions. Source-based from a particular source, either it is based on, say, for example, on health matter or chemical matters or hazardous matter or disaster matter. From there, any type of source, they will take it and make it. Thinking. Again, the bottom line is excess thinking of the student is required over here. Sometimes we give multiple choice questions. Now, many have lot of doubts about this multiple choice question. Multiple choice questions are definitely specific questions, but here the students need to study a lot. That's why it is not like that previous way of thinking. Tick mark kar diya, kisi bhi koi bhi lag gaya, ho gaya. You will find nowadays, if you see the multiple choice questions, you will find all the 4 answers are very much near to the question. Yes or no? It makes students confused. Yes, in seated also you will get the same thing. Well, so close. Because phakibaji nahi chalega, padhna hi padega.
दिस इज द थिंग. हम लोग को बंगाली में बोलता है कि फांकीबाजी करेছিস तो फेंसेছিস বা ফাঁকে পড়ে যাবি, तो फांकीबाजी नहीं चलेगा. CBSE syllabus is like that. You have to study in detail. Okay. Subjective questions, long answer questions within certain. One more question, one more very important thing. Some people, I will talk to them. Yes. Subjective, when we write the long answer questions, okay. Suppose if CBSE is asking to write within 50 words, it should be 50. Maximum it should go to 55. Please take this very seriously. It should go to 55. If it goes to 95, means the student doesn't know anything. If it goes to 95, student doesn't know anything. He is not within the answer. तो हमारा स्कूल में बोलता था, जिस वक्त आप सेकेंड पेपर लिए हैं ना लिखने के लिए, प्रूफ हो गया आप कुछ नहीं जानते हैं. Yes, हमारा स्कूल में ऐसा हम लोग को पढ़ाता था. The time you take the second paper shows you don't know anything. So there is a reason behind it. 50 words means you have to write within 50 words. Then only you can specify exactly what you know. Exact answer should be. Some people have a habit of writing big answers, and we think a lot of things. But you will find hardly there is any substance over there. Like in science, the answers I used to get, there was in 2001, 2002, when the syllabus was quite different. One answer I remember, this question was in biology, what is crossing over? What is crossing over? No, when the cell division takes place, okay, the biology teachers know this, okay, the DNA materials, they cross over, touch each other, and one fellow wrote it in this way. When a truck is going and a cat is crossing, it is called crossing over. Yes, and another student, it cannot be like that. The paper bharti karne ka baat nahi hai. Or in social sciences, there was a question, one social science teacher showed me the answer. It was like this. They have this, I don't know whether it is now in the syllabus or not. The Hijra movement, okay. When it is said that when Muhammad traveled from Makkah to Medina, that movement in life, it's something like that. And social science teacher showed me, the student wrote in this way, ki Hijra movement is that movement which is made by those people who are neither men nor women and go on clapping on and on. This much they can think. Creativity goes to that extent. So these things we have to be very, very, and we have to warn the children also. Okay, don't write. Achha, anybody has any queries over here? Madam was telling, if anybody has any queries regarding this competency-based questions or the MCQ-based questions, if anybody has any question, you can ask. I'll try my best. Madam will try her best to solve them. And one more thing regarding MCQ-based questions, please avoid none of them, all of them, all of the above, none of the above. Avoid these two. Try to make answers when you are framing the question. Try to create answers as much as possible within the question. Okay, these two are like fakibaji. All of them, none of them. CBSE is very strictly saying to avoid this. Okay, MCQs are unique way of finding out how much the students have studied. Okay, sir, can you go to the next one? Oh, that is the last. So this is the new pattern they have started. Okay, one request to all of you, please tell your children that if it is a one-word answer, make it one word. Don't drag it to 20 words. If it is 50 can go to 55. 45 is also acceptable, but 95 is not acceptable. Please, this thing be very careful.
And one more thing I want to add, that teachers can go to the CBSE site and their question bank is there. Assessment, I think different schools, they have different ways of assessment. The 20 marks. For 10 and 12, the main subjects are there. For English, how is the assessment done? Any school will be, any representative on any school, how you all are planning this 20? Please.
Share your views. How you all are making question papers for this internal assessment? Yes, ma'am, please.
Good afternoon.
For all subjects, it is
Biology.
Oh.
Madam, what type of project work you do? What type of project work you do?
Like digestive system, respiratory system. Yeah.
Models, I think for biology models are also made. Models. Good.
Go, you do it. Go for live demonstration and give marks. Yes, that is live model. Either they can use dance and all this. No, what I'm talking about, no. Go for this what you call one act play. Okay, role number play, one act play, role play. Go for these things, they are more interesting. You don't do that and give marks for that. Okay, very good. If you are doing it, it's excellent, excellent. Because project means it's not limited to many things. Project is a group work where all the children will start thinking together, they will do some research work. Okay, that is what the new era of teaching is saying, the blended learning comes out. Yes, okay. Yes, ma'am. Anything, ma'am? Otherwise, like same boring. Okay.
And work also divided because 5 students in a group, one is doing on, others are just giving their autograph, just signing their names. It should not be. So that work should be divided and it should be mentioned. Roll number 1, so and so has done this research. This part was divided to roll number 2. So all must have the equal responsibility for the work.
On the children about their attitude, behavior and value towards the school, which is important. It comes within the internal assessment. Yes, their scientific department, their involvement for the school, how they participate, how they mix with teachers, how they mix with students. It is very difficult to do it. It's very easy to say from here. But, we teachers are different. That is why we always keep an eye on the children, who is what and how. Okay, we definitely will show love to the children, but when the time is required. Okay, because that will create a character for the child latter part of his life. 3 p.m. Okay, so we will be back at 3 p.m. After that, we will have a session on education for peace, which is very important. And I think with that, with effective parenting, madam will do, and with that, we will end. Sir wants to say.
Yes, first ladies will go. Ladies first, the queue. And the water also outside. पानी के बाहर में भी आप लोग रखा गया है. Fill to have cold water and also outside. Normal and cold.
very old, but that voice is still very good. And equally good voice, ma'am. What a wonderful voice you have.
So this extra quality that we never knew, today it is also exposed. Big hand for ma'am. Anna Mark, fantastic words. Okay, we will move to our next module in the training program, and this is education for peace. Now CBSE is giving a lot of emphasis on it. You will find almost each and every center of excellence is doing it. But after 8:30, I close the phone because somebody over there starts shouting them. Okay. And my email ID is there, you can write to me and I respond. Okay, I don't belong to that group of snobbish people. I don't take phone calls, this, that. I am a learner, I need your feeling for each other. Everything comes from feeling. And E for education. If education is there, education means not merely collecting a few certificates with high-five marks. That person is not educated. Education is in your mind, your feeling, your thinking, your way of taking the things which are wrong, which are right. That is what education is all about. Your intellectual quality. So this is what a simple acronym of peace. It is not any official acronym. This is just came into my mind. I gave it, and many teachers said, Sahodayas. Next. Sir, can you just peace education, historical perspective of peace education. Peace education, where you can apply peace education in school, how we can do it in school, very much important, and need of peace education, why it is different. If we look at today's society, if we look at today's nations are developing, people are earning a lot of money, lifestyle has changed. Just imagine 10 years ago what lifestyle we had and what we had. Even after the pandemic also a lot of changes are there. Definitely pandemic was a blessing in disguise for many of us. But something that is missing, honestly if you touch your heart, you will definitely, something that we all are missing is that inner peace within ourselves. That inner peace. The mind is always disturbed due to some reason or other. So it is important that how we remove it. How important that you will see. Okay, so next. Now, what is peace? So many different answers are given. Okay, so many. Peace is being quiet inside. A group of people think that peace is quiet inside. Remaining with your own self. Peace is quiet inside. Peace is having good feelings inside. Very important. Peace is having good feeling inside. Now, it is very, very difficult. It is very, very difficult to create this good feeling within inside. Because we people are preoccupied with so many unprecedented events in our life that it becomes very difficult for us to get the peace inside. Something is always disturbing us. Either family matters, or school work, or money, or this problem. But if we can reach to that optimum level of having peace inside, then the world is in your hand. But very difficult to reach. But can be achieved. It's not easy, yet it is not difficult too. So peace is having good feelings. When we can have good feelings, when we can or if you have some work, you can come back fast. That feel good practical insight is very difficult to achieve. Because by nature, human beings are somewhere down the line very selfish. We are very selfish. No matter how much we try to say, no, I'm like this, we are selfish. Instantly, if we see our neighbors are getting something good, we don't feel good about it. Yes or no? In schools also, if one teacher gets seated, the other doesn't get, chori karke nikal gaya. Somewhere the feeling is there. Honestly, I'm telling you, yes. Even I am also not exceptional in that case. Somebody said something better than me, oh, nahi janta hai. Hum log se better jante hain. This is very common. I'm honest, I'm confessing. We have this skill. If we can reach it, we'll get it. Okay, quickly we'll see the other definition. Peace is when people get along and you don't argue or fight. Peace is when people get along and you don't argue or fight. Very difficult to achieve. Because the mind inside doesn't allow us. Argument is always there. Fighting is always small matter. Okay. One common example from my house I will take. See, my wife is also a teacher. Okay, she is teaching in D.A.V public school Asansol. She is always lecturing the parents. बच्चे के साथ ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए, बच्चे के साथ वैसा नहीं करना चाहिए, बच्चे को ये समझाइएगा, बच्चे को when it comes to our own son, when it comes to our, then quickly she will jump from the teacher's side to parents' side like this, and she will start complaining to me. Yes, the child is not learning anything. You are not looking after. You are only thinking about your school. God knows what will happen. Later, don't blame me. I will die one day. You will take care of it. The fighting goes on and on. I said, you are a teacher. You are lecturing your students. Parents over there and conducting PDMs and all, and over here you are thinking the same thing for your own child. Then what type of teacher you are? Oh, what do you think? I am not a teacher. I am not teaching. I am teaching from the last 50 years. I get this, I get. So the fighting continues, a never-ending story. Peace will never. But we have to achieve it. Okay, let's see the next one. So no fighting. Difficult to achieve, but can be done. Peace comes guarantee that the person will have compassion, feelings. I will turn them into a human being. If you want me to make me a doctor engineer, then please come to the office. I will reverse the process of admission. Compassion is something that we have to do. That feeling for growth, and that's what we are actually doing in the schools. And world peace grows through non-violence, acceptance, fairness, and communication. So world peace grows through non-violence, acceptance, communication. If we can move with it, then peace is achieved. It's required. All the 10 points, 10 or 12 points that we have over here, they seem to be very difficult to achieve. It is very good. But if we want, if we try, definitely we can do it. And that's how the society is living. So, next one, quickly. There is a little more over here. Peace is the main characteristic of a civilized society. If we are living in a society, then one of the main characteristics is this. Peace is not only for children but also adolescents and adults. Peace is not just the absence of war, it is the practice of love. Yes. That's the main. The 4-letter word love. If we practice, then all the dangerous feelings will go away. Peace is happiness, health, content, good economy, social justice, freedom from. It's a peaceful for people to work together, resolve conflicts, and develop morality, treat each other with justice, safety, basic needs, respect each other. So the same thing is elaborated. If we respect, if we do justice to others, we will be. Some of them ratification or treaty of peace between two powers previously at war. This is also peace. Suppose two countries are at war. If they join hands together finally and go for this treaty, not to continue with war anymore, that is also peace. Like right now, Russia and Ukraine are having the war, but at any moment they can say that they can go for peace, but they are not doing it. Ego problem is working over there. Freedom from disturbance and contribution. Okay, so next one. Now, defining violence, war, torture, child abuse, child and women abuse, these are all venerable. Children are abused like anything, and women are abused like anything. Whether it is India, Bangladesh, US, everywhere it is there. If we can stop it, we can get peace out of this. And we have positive peace, presence and conditions of well-being, just relationships, social, economical and political, ecological. Okay, so if there is a presence of conditions of well-being and just relationships, social, economic and political and ecological. Now, if positive peace should happen only when there are conditions of being well-being. If we live in a society where we have well-being, we are well-respected, we are recognized, relationships are right, the nations work hard to make sure that the income level of people goes on increasing. And of course, we also should have the ecology the environment should be peaceful. We talk about environment. If we don't keep the environment in good condition, then what will happen? We are bound to suffer from different types of elements. We should remove peace from ourselves. So these are the various ways. So quick evaluation. Then only we will be living. This is the definition of peace in various ways. Sir, next one. Inner peace means harmony with oneself, good health and absence of inner conflicts. Joy, sense of freedom, spiritual peace. Inner peace. अपने अंदर का peace क्या होना चाहिए? What is the inner peace? Now, first of all, harmony with one's own self. Be content, self-satisfaction. That is very important. That's what CBSE is telling us. That go on giving this information to the students and also practices among the teachers. Self-satisfaction. But the problem with us is that we are never satisfied. और चाहिए. The moment we can go for it, we are self-satisfied. Good health and absence of inner conflicts. That mind should be clear-cut. Madam, suppose if I have this feeling, she is getting more salary than me, then I will never have peace in my mind. Okay. He comes in a क्या बोलते हैं टोयोटा कार में आता है, हम अभी भी सुगर में आते हैं. So all these feelings, these negative feelings will stay. But it happens for human being. It is very difficult to get out of this. So social peace should be there, peace with nature should be there. Then we will have total peace, complete peace will be there. Sir, quickly, next one. Levels of peace. Personal starts with the personal level again. You can see the hierarchy, how it is going. Each one of us, we form the base of everything. Okay? Each one of us should have a personal peace. Personal peace, self-respect, inner resources, hope. Yes. Very important is self-respect. They say that if you don't love yourself, you will never be able to love others. Yes or no? Yes, sir. पहले तो अपने आप से प्यार करने पड़ेगा, तभी ना हम किसी और को प्यार कर पाएंगे. अगर अपने आप से प्यार नहीं कर पाए तो क्या? उसीलिए whatever you are, whatever, keep yourself fit and fine, put the best dress, wear the good, eat the good food. Once in a weekend, take your family to a good restaurant or a shopping mall or whatever it is. Your mind will be good. Love yourself. Don't be miser to yourself. Money will come. It is very easy to say. Sir, आप तो ज्ञान बहुत दे सकते हैं. जिसको ऊपर पीता होता है ना वही जानता है. But हो भी सकता है. Yeah, you can say. Sir is very serious about it. Yeah, it happens in this way. No? See, until we don't love ourselves, we can never be peace with ourselves. We have to be content. We have to love ourselves. The more we love ourselves, we will be able to love others. We will be able to respect others. But अपने मन ही मन में आता वो सोच में रहेगा. पर देखो, उनका तो ये है, उनका तो वो है, मेरा तो कुछ नहीं है, तो फिर कुछ नहीं होने वाला. Okay, so it should start with the personal level. It should go to the interpersonal peace. Respect for other person, justice, tolerance, cooperation. In the society we are living, respect for each other. And we teachers are the best in this part. We respect each other very much. In schools, maybe some sort of conflict always goes among teachers, that is quite common. But we respect each other. Somewhere down. Okay, then interpersonal, then intergroup or social peace, respect for other groups within nation, justice, tolerance, cooperation. So, social peace within the society itself. And then the global, respect for other nations, justice, tolerance, cooperation, the same thing. Other nations should also be respected. But unfortunately, we are right now living in a condition where our neighbors are very hostile. Our neighbors are very hostile. Pakistan is always standing with the cannons. They will not fire, but they will go on strike. Yes. Nepal seems to be a very friendly nation, but they are not that much friendly. Sri Lanka right now is a bit down, otherwise they were also showing friends. And Bangladesh, when it will become friendly, when it will become enemy, you never know. So this is the condition, yes. Right now we are in that condition. Okay. And global peace and peace between humans and the earth and beyond. So peace with human beings, with the earth itself. The very place where we are staying. If this thing is there, peace is there. Okay, sir, quickly, next one. So, now education for peace. Why in education we require peace? Or education for peace, what it says? This I will read it. An important statement that the E9 summit in New Delhi in 1993 made was education is the only defense against war. the only difference. It has nothing to do with education. But yes, if those academic achievements are achieved by the proper way, then you become educated. That is what education is. So education for peace has twofold purpose: to empower individuals to choose the path of peace rather than the path of violence. Once you are educated, you know the difference between the good and the bad. The very purpose of education is what? Once you get educated, you know the very purpose of it. Half of your life struggles. Very difficult to achieve that, if you can, because the moment you think something is good, the very next moment you can think it is not good, it may not be good. And you know that mindset we have. There are some people in the world who will see something, suppose this this umbrella. See, our mentality is what we have this umbrella. Madam has purchased the umbrella, madam has showed me the umbrella and said, sir, how is my umbrella? I look at the umbrella and said, not bad. Why I cannot say good? Not bad means good. Yes or no? Not bad represents good. But see my feeling, I am saying not bad. Why? I am using two words. I can use one word and I can give a better feeling to her. I can say, no, ma'am, it's good. She will feel happy. She will feel proud about it. But look at my mental. Not bad. This is the problem with us, you know. And that is why peace is not with us. We have to look this. There are many people in this world who will never say, अच्छा, अच्छा नहीं बोले, खराब नहीं है. अरे बाबा, अच्छा बोले क्या प्रॉब्लम है? खराब नहीं है, मतलब तो अच्छा है. लेकिन नहीं बोले. Yes. This is okay. So first of all, it has to empower individuals to choose the path of peace rather than the path of violence. Yes, just the words I used has a great significance to this meaning. It is almost like talking about violence rather than peace. To enable them a peacemaker. Tell your children to become peacemakers rather than consumers of peace. These were discussed in the summit. Education for peace is education to create some preconditions for achievement of peace. Now, this was written by Rhea Dawn. Rhea Dawn is a lady who is working morning till night for promoting peace education globally. And this is what she said, that education for peace is education to create some of the preconditions for achievement of peace. If we educate our children, we will create some conditions within them, preconditions, which can help to lead to peace. And that is our motto. We need children to understand peace. We need the adults to understand peace. It is very important. Okay, sir, next one. Peace, concept of peace education. Peace education is inclusive of skills, ideas, attitudes, knowledge to create a safe world, to build a sustainable environment which can be sustainable. A beautiful world needs to be created. Peace education can be considered as an attempt to provide value education and social skills that would reinforce positive group interactions. So there is nothing much to explain over here. To create a studies as an academic discipline can be traced back to the late 1940s, and the field has been developing steadily since then. The first academic peace studies program was established in US in 1948, soon after the field of peace research development. Actually, to be very honest, they say that the Second World War, the history teachers, those who are studying history, or those who keep interest, they will definitely agree that when the first World War, which has tremendous impact on our society. The Second World War was a horrible, it's a bloody war, like it killed people, destroyed families, separated mothers from their sons, wives from their husbands, children were separated. The Second World War was one of the worst phases of human life. But that war brought various changes, and since 1948 it was started that some sort of education is needed so that we don't have another war. If we really deeply study into the facts and figures of the Second World War, your hair will start rising. We all know this thing, the Holocaust pattern, how the Jews were killed and all. The very human feeling was destroyed. Ian Harris, John Gultang, in the 1960s and 70s worked within the context of civil rights, women's rights and anti-war movement. America witnessed the horrible civil war, I think all of you know. America witnessed the horrible civil war. And since then they started working and they still working. Civil war is there in each and every nation. Civil war is there in the families, everywhere. But it is still. In the 1980s, the threat of nuclear war prompted peace educators all around the world to warn of implementing devastation. Yes, nations tried to show their power. Nuclear weapons, atomic bomb, this, that, whatnot was coming. So, again, peace was needed over there. Frank Smith, the name of the person is Frank Smith. Okay, German. CHMIDT, it seems like Smith, but the pronunciation is Smith. Okay. And Alice Fradman in 1988 said, peace education is holistic. Complete. We go for holistic education. We are all giving holistic education to our children. No? Complete, total education. What education we give to our children? Total education. Peace education is holistic education. Like the Brazilians play football. Brazilians play football. What football they play? They play total football. Complete football. Whether they lose or they win. We also do the same.
You know I am doing this. If I take hands phone, not looking and putting it in my pocket. What will anything? She will understand. No, I've got a very good phone. And I know it is wrong. चोरी करना बुरा बात है, लेकिन करना. Okay. We never had that feeling, but now somewhere deep inside it happens. The modern concept of peace education in Western civilization has been developed by the contribution of many scholars. Many people are working on it, many people have worked on it. Many scholars, theologians, philosophers, practitioners, Harris and Morrison are doing a lot of work, such as Plato, Decidius, Erasmus, Communicus, Immanuel Kant, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin. First European who used written words to advocate peace education was Communicus, who in 17th century agreed that these are some historical facts. He was created and also let us know a little more. Some of the great people who are working approach to peace education and could apply to community education schools and all. So this is the way they are working. And of course, Gandhi, Johann Gultang, they also did a lot of good work. I'm not going in detail because there is less time. Okay. Goals of peace education. What are the goals? Why we are going for the peace education? It aims to promote social change through attitudes, inner transformation. First of all, social change is needed. So what we are doing all these big topics I am doing of no use. Okay. It can be achieved. First, aim to promote social change through attitudes and inner transformation. अपने आप को बदलने पड़ेगा. Or to develop peace behavior. Peace education defines its major goals as follows: preventing and resolving violence and conflicts, no violence, no conflicts. Promoting post-conflict stability and development after the violence. Post-conflict, conflict के बाद कभी-कभी हो जाता है ना लड़ाई झगड़ा हो जाता है. Sometimes we quarrel, we fight, and that feeling that proposing world peace and reduction of international tensions and results from tensions caused by nationalism, chauvinism and ethnic stereotyping. So, proposing world peace and reduction of international tensions. The more international tensions can be reduced, it can be done. But can we achieve it? What happens, sir? Sir is getting emotional or what? Yes, sir. क्या हुआ? Emotional हो गए? Proposing world peace and reduction of international tensions. International tensions is too much there. If we can reduce it, okay. Caused by nationalism, chauvinism and ethnic stereotyping. So these are the things. Principles of peace education, world education, teachers union working group in prayer, adopted the following. Education for peace should be compromised of two aspects. One, to explain the necessity and possibility of peace and take action in favor of peace. So this one, the teachers union and all, they decided they will promote peace in this way. Children, youth and adults should understand the meaning of real peace. Citizens should understand the meaning of real peace.
then only it will go. This is what the teacher said. Types of peace education, we have international education, human made by NCRT, they tell us that you have to go into this direction. Develop a more humanistic management approach. Unfortunately, we are going towards a too much materialistic approach. Humanistic approach should be there. Rules, regulations should be there, but they should not be that much inhuman that the very essence of education will get lost. Honestly speaking, in the old days convent school, we used to have this type of feeling. As soon as you enter the school, boy, stand there. Boy, sit down. Boy, come on. Hey, and we used to get scared. No freedom was there. But now things are changing. Yes. So much study everywhere. If you are taking 2 steps and going to the washroom also, suddenly one teacher will come. Where are you going? Why are you going? This is the time for the washroom. Go ahead. Yes. Human approach. It's to go. It's productive. So develop a humanistic management approach. Improve human relations between teacher, student, teacher, student, student. Yes. 30 years ago, honestly speaking, the relationship between teacher and student was very tough. Very tough. I have, with due respect to my teachers, they all created me, that's why I am over here. But if you go back, if you reflect, you will find the relationship that teacher-student relationship that is now at present the one we have, that relationship was not. Students and teachers used to stay far away from each other. Now, was it good? Was it bad? Argumentative, big question mark is there. This is your duty to say whether it was good or not. If you ask me, I will say there cannot be that much. Okay, because teacher-student relationship is completely different. The best relationship in the world that can ever happen is the relationship between the teacher and the student. Students will tell you are the best man in the world. One of the best teacher-student relationship so far has been found in our country is between Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda. All of you know the story. Swami Ramakrishna was a literate person, came from a village as a Purohit, as a priest. And Swami Vivekananda was a graduate, science graduate from a rich family, handsome, good-looking man, always talking about logic. And the way Ramakrishna used to talk, he used to think that this man is a fake man. He's just trying to get it. And he tasted Ramakrishna in various ways. The last and the final test when he put that coin inside his bed, and Ramakrishna sat on it and he started shouting, oh my God, my body is burning. Then Swami Vivekananda understood that this man is not fake. So like that, our students also test us in various ways and means. And the relationship with us. The Guru Shiksha Parampara जो है, वो हमारा देश में इतना अच्छा है और कहीं नहीं. It's a fact everything. We have to maintain it. It's not there in the Western world, sir. I will tell you. It's not there. The physics teacher over there. Anybody teaching third person in physics there? You have studied Planck's concept, Max Planck and Max Born. Max Planck and Max Born both were student and teacher. When teachers go out to help the student, when Max Planck got the Nobel Prize for Planck's concept, then Max Born, his teacher said, no, he should not get it. Ye wrong hai, wo wrong hai. Nothing was wrong. Out of jealousy. That type of belief is not there in our nation actually. It's a story, it's a very sad story about Max Planck and Max Born. Okay, help to develop good attitudes in students and teachers as well as cooperation and mutual respect. This should be cooperation. We are doing it, we all are. Today's teachers are much more, what I will say, friendly teachers, student-friendly teachers, approachable, and that should be there. I'm not saying become very friendly, so that the student will come and touch your shoulder. Never go for that. A distance should be maintained, but not that distance. Boy, stand over here. That was, so I don't know exactly is argument. According to you, it is better, somebody else. This is, there's a big question mark. Okay, maybe it was better. Is it better? Okay, the answer I give to you. Whatever you will say is correct. Whatever you will say is correct. Okay. Healthy emotional development in students. See, if a teacher comes and talks to the student, the student will be different feeling, will be different feeling. आज हम कुछ achieve कर रहे हैं, सर हमसे काम किया, मैडम हमसे काम किया. This was lacking. If a teacher comes and talks, but yes, again, a distance has to maintain. We should maintain our dignity. Otherwise, if you become too friendly, then yes, sir, this is what CBSE has recommended. Okay, you can add on to your own things also. This is very difficult right now for you to understand. Okay, it will be given to you. How this education can be done? Okay, different models. Next one. Peace education, tri-dimensional model of peace education, peace, knowledge about peace should be given, values about peace should be given, and skills. How these three are coming together, we will get this kind of three-dimensional model of peace education. Coming very soon. Okay, we can organize some sort of function as World Peace Day or something like that. That's it. Very fast, like bullet train or a train I know, but this is how we have to do it. Okay, just remember one thing. We need to tell children about this. Because things are not going the way we want. So we need to. And only people who can bring change in society is teachers. Nobody else will do it. We are the only people who can bring about changes. We have brought changes. We are bringing changes. In future also we will bring changes. This is it. Okay. Thank you. Madam.
We don't have
Yeah, I think that we don't have to spare the rod, but sometimes when the children are not understanding the thought, when I am talking with the students, or our children, we are discussing the word, we're discussing the topic that it is not good for you. And if the children is not understanding, then what should we do? Lastly, we have to start it. Otherwise, it is not good to teach the students. We have to first talk with the students, talk with the children, and we have to discuss the topic. That discuss is not good for you, for your future, for your behavior. That is not good for you. That's
If necessary, we have to teach. If necessary, it requires. Yes, ma'am. Of course. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next one. Immediately, he or she becomes quiet, sits with the book, becomes very serious. Father also enters the house with a serious face. He had to do a lot of work. So the child is afraid to go and approach the father. And why I particularly mention your father? You may agree or you may disagree with me, because I have read in one article about working mothers and working fathers. It is said, suppose the work timing is over at 5 o'clock, but the father had to do work in the school or office and would return home at 8 o'clock, suppose. He comes in with a very serious face. He had to work so hard, everybody is quiet, even the wife does not speak much because he had done that extra work. Same way, if the working mother returns home instead of 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock, her attitude is different. She is apologetic. She enters the house, quickly she goes around the children, starts doing the household work. She was late for home, whatever the work was given. But the approach of the parent, the father and the mother is different. But nowadays, in this generation, we do not see that. Most cases, both parents are working and both are also sharing and helping each other. This, that is not a high crime. It was a mistake from the child. So we have to understand this, that what will be the level of our discipline. Next one. Our behavior, that where are we going wrong? Next one. Now these are few of the things in details you have got in your handout. We will be discussing little bit. Boosting your child's self-esteem. I request our teachers not to be restless and please be attentive for this session. Boosting your child's self-esteem. Encourage your child. Praise your child. Say something good to them. It is said that you should never compare your child with somebody. I don't agree. We can compare, and this comparison can be in a positive way. So and so had done very good. Result has come out 9 colors. In that subject has got good marks. You are equally talented. You can also get so. This way we can encourage. Here there is no wrong in comparison. Next, catch kids being good. Always we are after them, looking at their faults, what mistakes they have done, scolding them. But if we see them,
Prayer doesn't mean that you will always ask God to give you this or that. Prayer is like looking into your inner self and trying to find out what are the things I did, what are the things I made mistake, and I confess to God. Okay, E for empathy. Empathy means to feel for somebody else in that person's, keeping that person's shoes on. Okay, sympathy, there's a big difference between sympathy and empathy. We should not be sympathetic to others, because if you become sympathetic, means you are actually looking down at it. Be empathetic. Feel for that person. A for attitude. Now attitude is often made a mistake. People often make a mistake with the word attitude. Attitude means as if they know nowadays it's a very, especially the social media has misused this word attitude. Attitude means they say that this person has a lot of attitude. Attitude is not like that. Attitude, the English teachers will be able to say, attitude is your behavior, your inner feeling that you have. But nowadays people talk, if you talk a little bit in a snobbish way to somebody, say, oh, kitna attitude hai, dekho, kitna attitude. But it's the wrong concept. The social media has created a lot of problems with the language. English language has been murdered by social media. If you look at some of the words they use over there, is very much unparliamentary. C for closeness. C for close. Until and unless we don't become close to each other, we will never be the peace.
Thank you, madam, for a wonderful session on effective parenting. You all are parents here, right? So, as you were teaching, actually you were teaching and you were learners, right? You were learning, so it's very important, whatever she said today, to practice that at home. And we saw the video, the animated video as well, and we learned how to be an effective parent. How overly strict parents can damage, the upbringing of the children, right? It can affect their sleep, it can affect their behavior, and she was talking about sparing the rod and spoiling the child. So, yes, sometimes rod means correction. Correction is very important. If you don't correct our children, they may go astray, right? So, thank you, madam, for the wonderful session. It was really a blessing for me as well, because I'm also a parent, and she was asking us, let's all pay attention over here. सभी लोग यहाँ ध्यान देंगे. सब सेटल हो जाइए. अभी खत्म नहीं हुआ है सेशन. आप सभी बैठ जाएं. थोड़े समय तक ऐसे ही करिए. एवरीवन, सभी नहीं कर रहे, लेकिन चेक करिए कौन नहीं कर रहे. मैं सबका नाम जानती हूँ. मैम के जैसे नहीं, मैं बुला सकती हूँ आपको. Alright, thank you. So, how can we get inner peace? I was thinking about that. Many teachers, they come to school full of anger, and full of negativity, they try to teach with anger. They're shouting in the class. We cannot do that. So the inner peace will come from home. Is that correct? Am I correct? अगर आप घर में खुश हैं, बीवी से लड़ाई नहीं हुई है, पति से लड़ाई नहीं हुआ, क्लास में जा ठीक रहेगा. घर में तुम्हारा गंडगोल हो गया. It will show up in the class. It will show up. Definitely. So that inner peace will come from within. That's what he was talking about. Very nice. I loved it. And you don't have to carry that baggage with you and come to school. You can leave it there. So you have to decide, or we have to decide and make a choice, right? So it's very important that we learn many things. Thank you, Sujit sir, for that wonderful teaching on Bloom's taxonomy. Again, it was a revision for us. Because during the pandemic, it wasn't that clear, but now we have understood what it is actually: effective teaching, effective parenting, education of peace, as well as CBSE assessment. So there are many issues that we were dealing with, and we got the answer in the session itself. Lots of issues that we don't have a tendency of thinking positive, about the umbrella. We never tend to say something good to people. Oh yeah, this is very nice. That speech was really good. So when you compliment the other person, you praise the other person, that other person gets uplifted. Same goes to our students in the class. Ma'am had put up a point there. We need to check the children when they're doing good. At the time, check them or tell them that was very nice. You help that child. That was very nice of you to do that. So when you say that, when no one is watching, the children is taken aback. Wow, my teacher was watching me when I put up the fan, when I left the class. There's so many things. But we can change ourselves. If we change ourselves, we can change the world. So thank you so much. Let's give a big hand to both our master trainers, resource persons. Both of them were wonderful today. And it takes a lot to stand up here and to speak, right? So God bless you, sir. your certificate, your certificate. Before that, we will be having board of time. And I would request our sir, Mohammed sir, will come up to GPS school. Pakur is also the district training coordinator, Godda cluster. And guess what? He's also a creative writer and an author. He has won many medals, many awards, certificates for writing poems. And most of his poems are on love, right? I was asking him, this I love words, madam, so that's wonderful. When you love someone, it comes out, it displays. So he is a great poet as well, and you can go in the net, the Amazon, and you can get to his poetry books as well. So sir will be giving a vote of thanks. Let's give a big hand.
And what are the big changes are? There has been a revolution in the digital world. And as the world we live in is prepared to accept big changes. And what we are presenting in our classrooms, what we are presenting to our students in form of teaching learning process needs to be reshaped. And it's a big challenge to accept the changes, to adapt to the changing situation and grow. So let's examine some key features along which the changes of the system. One is to connect, collaborate, and co-create. So, as the students are there in the classroom and teachers are standing before them to discuss things, to direct, this is a scenario that is cost-changing. Consider the teacher guiding the students for remembering things and presenting an examination to change the past. In the present scenario, the student learning spaces will supersede the typical classroom that we know. They can be partners and co-creators of their own learning. Then there is anywhere, any kind of teaching. So what is anywhere, any kind of teaching? We all know this. After this revolution of digitization, students are acquainted with online platforms and they are prepared to collaborate with students who are not present in the classroom. Maybe a student sitting in India can collaborate with a student in CBSE. About that, we are collaborating with national government to make some progress. So, after this revolution of digitization, things have gone beyond the classrooms. Formal classrooms have changed. Lastly, putting the base in place. The examination system or the assessment system that we are having mainly focuses the determining who is at the top or who is at the bottom. So this way, there will be negative outcomes and behavioral development. Most of the education is seriously thinking in reconstructing this examination system. So, as the whole world is evolving every day and things are evolving every day, we are there to be able to find out outcomes which can be beneficial, which can be adapted to the situation, and which can be helping the students to grow and become global citizens who can contribute effectively and
अभी खत्म नहीं हुआ, ये सर्टिफिकेट लेके आना है आपको, है ना? ग्रुप फोटो भी होगा, हर स्कूल का ग्रुप फोटो होगा और वो ग्रुप फोटो अपलोड करना होगा अपना वेबसाइट में, अपने वेबसाइट में, इसलिए जाना नहीं है। आपकी वेबसाइट में ग्रुप फोटो लिखना एक ट्रेनिंग है, आज में मटेरियल वीडियो मिलेगा वो भी अपलोड करना है, तो इसको भूलना नहीं है। जितने टीम लीडर हैं अपने टीचर को रोक रखेंगे 5 मिनट, सिर्फ 5 मिनट के लिए। अभी हम रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे सुनील सर से और जॉली मैम से, प्लीज कम।